Yeah, hello there. So here we go again. We have the data uh, configuration for the API now. Okay, so um, you can see that it's splitted into two. All right, it's splitted into two, and we have if you intend to use smart recharge for both, okay. So the way it is right now is that we have two types: the one that says SME and the one that says direct data. Okay, so it can be harmonized together. So the way it is now, you can do that on VBP. You can harmonize the two plans together. So since you are getting it from the same source, okay, only if you want to get the MTN shared data from a different source, and you are getting the direct data too from a different source, then you need to contact us for a custom code request, so that we are going to give you we are going to add, of course it will come at a fee. So we are going to add a new um, a new feature for you that will have to do with the MTN shared data. So the new features will have to do with the MTN shared data. Okay, so but right now you can still harmonize it into one, since we are dealing with a smart recharge. So we will be harmonizing um, the two type of data together. Okay, so now here we can see that we have the URL. Okay, one has data, and the I think it has the product code, then it has phone and callback. Then the other one, which is the direct data. Okay, it has the same thing, but here it says direct data. Here it says product code, here it says phone, and here it says callback URL. Okay, fine. So both URL has been placed on here. Okay, we have both of them here, and you can see that they are common: product code, data, sorry, phone, then API key, and in fact it's very simple to actually harmonize, unlike the other APIs. Okay, so now having said this, so how do we integrate it to VBP? That's the question now. So let's go back here. We have our data API ID there. So then we have add new data recharge API. Of course, smart recharge is what we want. Then activate it. If you don't want to activate it, fine, but you can activate it. Then now here, what do we put here? This is where we start the configuration. So let's start it from here now. So we are going to be putting something that says something like this. Okay, let me just input everything there right now, so that you know what. Let me copy that and paste it here. Okay, fine. So we have everything here now, but we need to change this to something dynamic that the that we can use anytime. All right, that can be used anytime. So we need to change it to something that can be used. So now this is the way it works. Okay, now um we have something that says um before I start blabbing here, so we need to confirm one or two things here first. And what we need to confirm here is that we need to input the true. Of course, the value is true. Fine, we have that set already. So these are pre-input. These are not the actual thing that will be there. They are pre-input thing that will give you an idea of how the whole thing should be. Okay, so that's why you have them there. So I think the next thing to configure right now is this. Okay, why do we need to configure this? Yeah, we need to configure that because this is what will be identified from by the system. Okay, so now everything you are looking at here would be sent here. That's where we identify. So how do we go about it? I think this is the way to do it. So now if this says API name, fine, of course that's to be MTN. Then this says API amount. Well, this API does not require you to send to send the amount. This is the amount that the system will deduct. This is the API code, and we will be dealing more with the API code. We'll be dealing more with the API code. All right. Then we have the URL variable. Then what the user sees. Okay. So now this part is a bit tricky. Okay, this part is a bit tricky. So why I said it's a bit tricky is that we need to set or we need to be able to identify which is being selected. Okay, so now let's for example save this the way it is. Then let's go to the front end. Sorry, let's make sure that we have that's the only thing we have. Okay, we have activated. So let's go back to the front end to see what we have here. Okay, so we have MTN. So this should give us the list of MTN that we have. So now let's check what we have here. So we have the same value here. So that value is what is actually being sent down to what's it called now? That value is what is being sent here to identify which is which and what it is that is being needed. Okay, so now so yeah, now what we need to do is just place something like this. You have the MTN, you have your Glow, okay, you have your 9 Mobile, you have your Airtel, okay. So that's that. So now this is where the bulk of the job is. Okay, this is where the bulk of the job is, and it says the API amount, says the data amount. So data amount is more like the site amount, like the amount you want to sell it. So if the API is selling it for 200 naira, you might want to sell it for 220, something like that. That's what it means. Okay, so the um the API amount, this API, like we said, is not requesting for amount here, so we don't really need to input it, but we can always identify it by saying possibly you can input anything here. Okay, so you can input anything there, or you can, if you want, we can change it to 200 as I've said. Okay, then here also we have this, and what does this mean here? Okay, this is, you see, this is the API code, and it's more like what this thing that we're going to be changing here, which is the network code. Okay, it's more like the network code, like I've said. So it's more like the network code. Okay, so example now, it's this one you've seen here, which is the MTN, sorry, which is the, where is it now? Yeah, for the shared data now, which is data share 1 gig or something. So let's just copy that and place it here. Okay, that's the third one, and the fourth one says the URL variable. So what do you think the URL variable should be? The URL variable should be this, because that is what will let us know that, okay, this thing that we have taken, or that we are trying to displace, is a data share. Okay, and here you can just change it to 1 gig, 1 GB data, MTN shared data, 1 GB SME data, MTN 1 GB MTN SME data, something like that. So then you separate it by comma. Just follow the way it is here. So here also you can say 400. That's the API amount. But though we don't need it, but something has to be there. Then we have 410. So how much should that be? So what code is that? I don't know what that code will be, but I'm trying to assume that it might be data share 2 gig. So data share 2 gig. Then URL variable is what data share, as you have seen. Then we have our 2 gig MTN here. So this is what the user will see on the front end, right? This is what the user will see on the front end. That's 2 gig, yeah, 2 gig MTN. So let's just try and see what we're talking about. So what is here should be also be here. Okay, so let's see what we're talking about here. Now look at this now, MTN. So you can see that I have that here, same thing, 2 gig MTN semi data, something like that. So I have that like that. So that's the way it works. Okay, so now having said that, kindly check their documentation again. Check their documentation here. I think there should be where to get their data plans and things like that. So there should be where to get it. I think. Let's see. It should be here. So this, I think this is where to get the data plans. So just follow what they've said here. Copy this. Put this here. Try it out. Click on try it out. So put that there. Then they shouldn't need any API key to show data plans. I don't know why they did that though. So execute. So that should bring out list of services available for the SME data plan. Oh, it's saying what again? I don't even get that. It's saying shared data MTN plan. So we need to check the sub service again. Like I said, this is kind of annoying, kind of crazy. Really. It's kind of annoying and crazy. We have 13. Okay, so been pausing the video every now and then. Okay, so now we have the subservice ID. I think we can use that now to get the list of whatever that is. Subservice service code is 13. Subservice is what? Shared. Oh, subservice code to shared data, blah blah. So our normal code which we've been using is that execute. So we wait for it to load. So it should give us list of services that they have. Oh great, so you can see, so this is where you can get, this is where you get the responses. Okay, this is where you get their, what's it called now, their code. Okay, let's use something more pretty because it's kind of more boot up there. So let's use something more pretty. Oh god, this is not nice. Why is it delaying now? I don't have time for all this delay. I just need to show you the way you can generate that. So pretty, make it pretty now. Is that not JSON? So yeah, so you can see it now. So it's kind of pretty the way it is. So we have the JSON one now. So it says that so this is what the system recognizes. Okay, that's the available service system name, whatever that is. So that is it. Then till you get to 500 MB, except there are other ones that are lower than that. Okay, so that's it. So when you are trying to configure the API part, so that's what you check to complete the rest. Okay, I've done the simple ones for you. So the other the next one are the direct datas. Okay, which is glow. Sorry, yeah, which is glow. Sorry, yeah. So for the MTN2, you can still have the direct data there too. Okay, for the MTN2, you can have the direct data. So the only thing that will change there would be the code. Okay, yeah, and the data and the URL variable. Those are the things that will be changed. Okay, so in case now you now want to use, let's go again there back to check for the direct data. Okay, data top up, I think that's the name. So we use that to get the service key, so the service code. Then we can now use that to now generate the list. Well, the server is kind of slow and annoying too. Okay, so we have different services now. So let's pick the direct data for MTN. Okay, so direct data MTN, then their service ID is 9. So that's what we are going to be using to generate. This one says 9, and this one says direct data. So execute again. So you wait for it to load out the services. So you can see the bunch of direct data that we have here. So let's just pick one of them that says MTN 20 gig for 30 days. Okay, which is 6,000 naira. So MTN 20 gig for 30 days. So we're going to be putting that here now. So could just put a comma. Okay, no space, just a comma. Then the first one would be 6,000. You get. Then you put a pipe. Then how much are you going to sell it? Maybe 6.5. You put a pipe. Then the data type, you put a pipe. Then you now say direct data, because that is what we have on the URL. Okay, direct data, this one here, direct data. Okay, so that's what you're going to be putting there. Then you put a pipe there again. Then what should the user see? What is the name of that thing on it says MTN 20 gig 30 days. Okay, so that's it. So let's see that and let's check the front end to see what we have there. So now MTN, so you can see that you have MTN 20 gig 30 days now. Okay, so if anyone now clicks on this now, this is what will be shown to the person, and that is what will be credited to the person's account. Can you see that now we've now harmonized the two API, the two together? That's the SME and the direct data. Okay, which is what we have done here. All right, so look at it now. That's what we've done, and that's great, isn't it? So now, so you can apply the same rule to the other ones. So I think the only problem you're going to be facing is how to generate that from these APIs. So you need to generate that yourself. If not, it's not something. That's why we are making this video, so that you'll be able to generate it yourself. Okay, so just generate it yourself, then copy all these things one by one as seen there, and complete it by yourself. Okay, so then if you want all the services for MTN, you do that. Then if you want the one for Glow, okay, you remember that Glow is direct data. So look at this now. Glow is 10, I think. So since Glow is 10, and the for Glow now, we just need to put Glow here. That's here, sorry. Then we put 10 here. So we execute, then we wait for the response. Then the response says everything here for glow. So let me just do one glow for you so that you know what we're talking about. Now the this available system name, which is this, that's what we need for the API code on VBP. Okay, so here now this glow says, well, how much of data is this one says 100 naira. So let's just pick that amount, 100 naira. Okay, so you have 100 naira. Then how much are we selling it? Maybe 110 or something, I don't know, just saying. So then this is the data amount, which is, sorry, data API code. This one say glow 105 MB. Then the variable URL variable will be direct data, right, as you have used here. Okay, direct data. Then this is what the user will see, which is let's check here. That's if you want it to have the same name as they have here, fine. So that's 105 one day. Okay, so let's go and check now. You realize that we have 105 one day in the glow selections now. So glow selections, so sorry, glow, you can see 105 one day there now. So that's that. So then the user will be able to. So now to complete this whole thing, you need to copy this here and paste it here back, as you have done, number one. And the last thing that you need to do is to convert this to dynamic URLs, so that we know that the system will know to replace appropriately what is supposed to replace. So here now we have a URL variable, because that is what we are changing here. So when it's getting direct data, it will change direct data. When it's getting to data share, it will change to data share. So another thing we need to put here is the network code, because that's the API code, which is what we need to put here. Okay, this URL does not need this word network. Okay, it does not need it. It does not need it. It does not need it. It does not need it, and that's a good thing for us. So you have that. Then another thing we need to put here is the what? The phone. Then the last thing here should be our what? Your domain dot whatever it is. Okay, and that's it. So with this now, we are done with the configuration of smart recharge. And please note that this is what is needed. You need to use your API key there. Okay, you need to use your API key there. So, and that's it. So save, that's all, and we are good to go. That's for the data API for smart recharge. Thank you very much.